Morning, top of the morning to ya. Tis Monday.
Tis.
Tis. It's auction week. We're back, baby. We're back. It has been a busy week period for us. We've got lots going on and everything that goes involved in running this business, and it's great. Bottles are flying in. It will be a quieter month again. I think people are on holidays.
Yeah.
It is traditionally a holiday month, and then you've parents thinking about kids are back to school and the spend for that and all them various things. So I do expect it to be a quieter month. It's still going to be a not insignificant auction, but it's quieter for us. Today we were looking through the racks, and again it's the challenge that we face every month of what do we talk about and how do we keep it sort of different instead of just these are our bottles, these are our bottles, these are our bottles. So some of the things that come up all the time, I mean, it's now a part of the Whiskey Society and Whiskey Society, not the Whiskey Society, but whiskey culture. Our whiskey culture is customer bottlings. I mean, there's so many of them now, and again, for brands, they're an integral part of engaging with their customers. I mean, they could release the same bottle month in, month out, and it sells. And in truth, it's probably better for the business. There might be slightly better margin on it for them. The labels don't have to change. The consistency is there, and they can just churn it out. But that doesn't keep the consumer engaged, and that doesn't keep the brands engaged. The customers engaged with the brands. So what they do is they do customer bottlings, and it makes sense. It does make sense.
Yeah, it does.
But we never had that many of them before. There was a few, but now with the new glut of distilleries, if the word is, there's so many of them.
But there's even a bigger interest in whiskey now.
Absolutely. And the brands, the businesses themselves that do release a customer bottling, they're looking for a way to engage with their customers. And so it's just this circle that goes round, and it's great to see. Hopefully there's a bit of innovation in it, that it's not just same old, same old. I mean, Jameson, one of the biggest ones in the world, the biggest brands. I seen a mad statistic the other day in one of the business newspapers. There was pictures with it, that's what caught my eye. But it said that 80% of our export is just Jameson alone. And that's a crazy
It's not
statistic.
hard to believe.
No, it's not hard to believe, but it's a crazy statistic in the world that we're living in. And there's so many new distilleries that have come on board. Do I personally think they're all going to survive? No, I don't.
Unfortunately.
I think there's going to be challenges for them. Again, for them all, they're just learning the business in some instances, so it is a challenge for them. But anyhow, here's a couple of the customer bottles that we picked up. So Dick Max. So Finn down in Dick Max, I mean, he's been a great advocate of Irish whiskey. So this is a Dingle 7-year-old done in the cask, and it's a Marsala finish. This is the Irishman Coffee Stout cask finish for Dick Max as well. That was done for the Celtic Whisky Shop, but again using Dick Max. And then you have a new Irishman cask finish for the Brownberry Ale of the Irishman that was done for the Friends of, what are they called? Friends of Walsh Whiskey or something like that. I can't think of their name. There's that many friends of these days as well. One of the originals, the granddaddy, was the Bushmills. I mean, back, here's how we always knew that Bushmills could be great. This was Bushmills Millennium Malt. So at the Millennium, which is 23 years ago now, they were selling these products as single cask products, and you could buy it and you could release it as a Millennium Malt. There was two variants of it. There was the 1975, which would be a 25-year-old single malt, and then there's the 1982, which is the 18-year-old single malt as well. But again, there's John and Susan Cronin. Is it Stacia Cronin? John and Stacia Cronin. That was their cast, done specifically for them. And again, how 25 years ago, nobody was doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would have been something uber
the behemoth
special,
that is Middleton weren't doing stuff like that. I mean, they moved their whole business model from customer bottlings, where you had the white label Jameson or the white label Barrett, away from that to a consistent brand. And yet Bushmills was doing that 25 years ago, so we knew that there was something else. The Irish Whiskey Society, that's the Marrowbone Lane. That is a popular bottling. That was done in 2016 for the Irish Whiskey Society. I think that's a well documented, great Irish whiskey. That the guys that were involved in choosing that whiskey, fantastic palate. So they just knew what they were at. They knew what they were looking for. One of the rare ones that came out of Middleton as well at the time, so it would be a special one. Bruichladdich, I just wanted to show, the reason I threw the Bruichladdich up there was just to show that it's, I mean, the Scotch have been at this for years.
Yes.
I mean, they've been doing it for years and years and years. But that's a Bruichladdich for the Celtic Whisky Shop. And there's only 288 bottles of it. And that's a 2008 Bruichladdich. Cracking whiskey. Again, a great one to have. On the back of that, Dunvilles. I mean, Dunvilles have now nearly specialised in that. With the Dunvilles brand, they've had to be innovative, they've had to be creative, they've had to have engagement. So what they've done is they've done a load of customer releases, or they've done single cask releases. For those lunatics like myself,
Yes,
that are fans of Dunvilles, you literally run out of space and run out of money. That's the only
Yep.
thing that it is. But I don't think there's a bad whiskey in the whole lot of them.
Well,
I genuinely...
I've never tasted a bad Dunvilles. I'm
No,
just saying.
exactly. Yeah, I thought you were going to say I've never tasted the Dunvilles.
Oh, I've tasted plenty of Dunvilles. Even the special ones get rolled out for me.
Even said to do. Powers. So again, I mentioned earlier about the Powers, you know, the white labels that were out from years ago. This was the single cask project, or this is still ongoing, much to mine and Dave O'Connell's and a few of us, Better Judgment and Leo Field and God Love Us, we're all mad. These are Power single cask. We think we're at 48. We think there's a couple missing. There is a small group of us, a small band of dedicated heroes that have drive ourselves to literally the group is this, do we have this one already? No, I don't know, but have you got that one? Oh, and it just goes bananas. But they were all done. So that one's done for O'Connell's Bar in Galway, and that was one of the ones that was done for the airport, the 75th birthday of the airport. There's loads of them. They now come in both variants. The original ones, which to my mind, the old ones are lovely because they were
black
so
boxes. Yeah.
they really, well, Katie, the new boxes are black as well.
No, but yeah.
Yeah, the wooden boxes. Yeah. No, I mean, they were so detailed. You've got ones like the Long Haul, the Celtic Whisky Shop,
Yeah.
Blake's of the Hollow.
They're fabulous.
The details on the boxes are just phenomenal, and it's
And the
gorgeous.
ones for Kilkenny
The
Castle.
ones in Kilkenny where you rotate the three together and it gives you the whole
full
panorama.
picture of the
Gorgeous,
castle. Fab.
gorgeous. But again, Powers was one of the ones. On tasting them, there's not that much of a variant. There is subtle variants in some of the, you know, the likes of the Musgrave own brands ones, little, but I mean, not a whole heap. Cologne, Brendan's carved out a niche for himself doing this. I mean, Brendan really has, you know, created himself as literally a whiskey specialist. Barry Chandler with the Stories and Sips group, their newest release is going to be a Baron Tool, which is Brendan's own distillate, done in PX. He's just, it's nearly, this whole business was designed for him in mind. He's not big enough that he can mass produce, you know, volumes and volumes of whiskey and huge amount. But what he can do is he can create one-off specials, or, you know, that are single casks, and it's just, he's very
He
good.
can be so adventurous.
He can be, and that's the thing, and he can be, look, I mean, there's no better man out there. I don't think there's anybody more passionate about distilling than Brendan Carey.
No,
I genuinely don't. I think he just eats, sleeps and breathes it. He just wants to get it right, get the fermentation right. I mean, the wild flora and fauna that the fermentation does be exposed up there is cracking. Dingle, the last one on our list. This is one of the new Founding Father releases. This is now a 10-year-old. They've come to term with the 10-year-old. So we had the first edition, the first release of the 10-year-old distillate from Dingle themselves. These are now the Founding Fathers, and I think there's going to be a fair few more of these coming out. So these are now a 10-year-old spirit. This one's really interesting. There's a story of the boat that's behind it. The postcards that come with it are images of the boat itself, and the cast number. There's a certificate that goes along with it. saying that it is from the cask and all that. It is in Irish. I haven't a bleeding clue what it says. Not a pig and giraffe do I have.
But it's got the English underneath.
Has it?
Yeah.
I didn't read that.
Certified.
All right, okay, fair enough. I see. I don't read very well, Kitty. Kitty, there's no pictures on it. How would it have been all right with the pictures of the boat? So, look, they come up every month. Customer bottlings come up all the time. They really do. Some of them get really, really sought after. There's one of them ones in this month, Sinead, the Faircullen, the 14-year-old, isn't it? That was the German release. The last time it was on, it was spoken about for months on end.
That he took over and he filled.
That Noel filled in Germany.
Yeah.
There was a bidding war over that, and people were talking about it on social media and everything else. We do have another one of them in this month's auction. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. But every month, keep your eye open for these one-off special editions. They do come up from time to time, and it's great to see them. It generates engagement for the brands as well. Any of them your favourites or any?
I don't have favourites.
You don't have favourites.
No,
You're
I
very
don't.
diplomatic,
No.
Katie. I do.
I don't have favourites, but I'm not shy at expressing what I don't like.
Yes. Which is everything.
No, didn't say that.
Okay.
I haven't tasted the Brugladdick, so I don't know.
I don't think you'd be a fan.
No,
of
I don't think so either, because
I don't.
I'm only getting accustomed to the peat.
Yes.
But I'm
The
learning.
hint of peat. You're
I'm learning.
Yes, that's it. You're on your journey, and that's always nice. Everybody should do that. Everybody should just try and taste different stuff and it gets experiment. And I think the Irish way of introducing the likes of the Silky and stuff like that, or
You see, I do like
Bill
the
Phil,
Silky.
or Bill Phil from Dahi or any of these, is a lovely subtle introduction to peat. I think it just brings the bit of smoke. The Teeling, the black bottle, black pits. That's lovely. I love that. I think to me that's like a barbecue. That's like a good smoky barbecue. Even the cast strength one in particular.
No.
You think it's a bit too much?
Yeah, it's a bit hospitally.
Yes. Okay. Right. Well, look, we shall discuss hospitals. And
I know that's
everything
not
else.
a whiskey word, but hey.
We don't do whiskey words, Katie. We
We
just
don't
talk
do whiskey words.
Speak it as it is. We shall discuss hospitals and other terms used to describe a whiskey
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
So, bye.
Hospitally. Bye.